Well, one of the main reasons for staging the tour in the first place was as a stepping stone to building the confidence that even though maybe there's some danger to staging sporting events in Pakistan or visiting Pakistan, the Pakistan security agencies are more than capable of mitigating that threat. Very satisfied. Back in 2009, the confidence in the security situation in Pakistan was obviously at an all-time low. And following on very recent, over the last 12 to 24 months, the improvements that have been made by the Pakistan security forces in, first of all, bringing the threat down, and secondly, improvements made as far as implementing security arrangements. It's not going. Returning full-time international cricket back to Pakistan is not going to be an overnight miracle. It has to take time, baby steps as you call them. But I think this was the PSL final was the first step. This is the second. We've shown now that events can be staged in one city, over a short period of time, 2020 format. Now, the next step has to be taken. Can that be rolled out in more than one city for longer periods of time? I probably the next step would be a tour by a full member country as opposed to a composite 11. Hopefully, the turning point. If you fall off your horse and you get back on straight away, it's easy to get back into riding. In this case, we fell off the horse 7-8 years ago, and there's been a long period. So it's going to be more difficult to learn how to ride again. But I think, hopefully, history will show that this was a turning point. Well, I think the players can be proud that they agreed to come. They didn't come just on a whim for the money. They seriously considered the security situation. They took advice from their security expert. And the bottom line is, what's changed the perception is that the security experts are now saying, 2 years ago, the threat is severe and it can't be managed. Now they're saying the threat is still very high. It's come down, but it's still very high, but it can be managed. And that's down to the good work of the PCB and the security agencies. I think it's more a mindset. In other words, I know how easy it is. You're sitting as a South African in Johannesburg. You can't understand why people don't want to come to Johannesburg. They're worried about the crime. And because you live with it, you cannot see that. So it is a fact that perception, unfortunately, often becomes reality. And I think what the PCB have done is realize that, hold on, we might not agree with those people who say it's unsafe to come to Pakistan, but we need to change their perception by actually taking actions and be more proactive. So hopefully they continue to do that and take that approach. We often say that, we've got 105 members that are members of ICC, only 12 full members, and we often refer to cricket as small enough to be a family and look after each other. But often those are just words. But I think this was a good example of, the members sticking together, supporting one of their own, in a time where support is needed. And I think that, the members not necessarily sending their own teams, but allowing their players to be part of the tour was a good sign, and a sign that, hold on, we're taking note of what's happening, the improvements that are being made, and we're prepared to support Pakistan going forward.